Hey guys, so I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook and everything that are like, "Ooh, what should I bring for band camp? What should I do for band camp? Yeah, let's do this the old man way." No. So I'm here for a list of the top 5 do's and the top 5 don'ts. My top 5 do's and don'ts for band camp. Do's. Do stretch. Stretching will be your best friend. You will not be sore at the end of the day, and overall, you'll feel better and you'll be more flexible at the end of the day. Number 4 for do's. Do eat. Eating is something that you have to have a fine balance of, though. If you're somebody like me, you snack throughout the day and it works out really well. If you're somebody who has to have those bigger meals, maybe take a sandwich or something and eat when your director gives you time for lunch. Eating a lot of things and a lot of calories at once is bad for you. I remember my sophomore year. Was it my soph? Yeah, it was. We had an off-campus lunch that our director gave us, and we all decided to go down to the junk food place. And I made the mistake of eating more than one hamburger. Yeah, let's just say that didn't end well for the rest of the day. Number 3, help the freshmen. Freshmen, this is kind of more directed towards section leaders. Freshmen, they don't know what the hell they're doing. So you have to be the bigger person, as annoying as they are, and yes, I will admit they're highly annoying. You have to be the bigger person to step in and say, hey, I don't think you're doing this right. Here are some things that you could do to improve. Number 2, sunscreen. If you're like me and you don't burn, but you tan, still wear sunscreen. Sunscreen will be one of your best friends during band camp, because then you're not going to look like a lobster going into school and people won't look at you like, yeah, what did you do to your skin? Did you get a tan? No, I got a burn, thank you very much. And the number 1 is definitely drink water. Drink plenty of water. If you don't drink plenty of water, you're going to sweat a lot, as you do during band camp regularly. However, if you don't replace the water that you're sweating out, you're going to pass out. And then we're going to have to pick you up, peel you up off the concrete after we run you over in a visual block, take you home, and explain to your parents why you are flattened like a pancake. Drink water, because if you pass out, we're going to run you over. On to the top 5 don'ts for band camp. Number 5, do not overwork yourself. I see this a lot with the freshmen that are first coming in, and they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, let us go and run an extra lap." I've seen people do that. I did it myself once, and it was actually quite relaxing. Don't do it. You will be tired all morning and all day, and you're not going to want to do anything. So don't overwork yourself. Number 4, oh, excuse me, that was a burp. Number 4 for don'ts, do not antagonize the football team. Yes, I know, we hate each other. Yeah, football players, they're annoying. Oh, hey, the band kids, they're equally as stupid. Marching band is stupid. Don't pull into it. You have to be the bigger person and back out and say, all right, that's your opinion, but you do you, and I'll do me, and we won't do each other. Probably. Even though we all know that the football players are having sex with the cheerleaders, but we won't talk about that here. Okay, so number 3 for don'ts is, I see this way too often, and it's part of my job as a section leader to make sure that this doesn't happen. Don't argue with don't argue with everybody else in the band. If you have an issue, really, let the section leaders or the staff or the director take care of it if it's something that can be taken care of right then and there. If it's not, then don't worry about trying to deal with it yourself, because you're only going to make it worse. Wait until after rehearsal and then come and talk to someone like a section leader or your director or a staff member, and they will help you take care of it. It Basically, just don't incite drama within the band or the section. I see this a lot amongst the color guard at my school, And that's part of the reason why I am section leader, is because I am going to make sure that that does not happen. Number 2, do not, and I stress this strictly for section leaders, but other people, if you're kind of in one of those supplementary leadership roles down the hierarchy, then you can do this too. Don't be a discipline freak. I myself have had section leaders in the past where, or even staff members in the past, where they're like, hey, you are being bad, or you're not doing this right. You need to go run a lap. Don't make them do that too often. The way my policy as a section leader is firm but fair. So you have to enforce what you're going to say and have them do, but you also don't want them to die in the process of doing it either. And honestly, one of the policies that our former captain last year taught me about for this year that I'm going to institute is don't have them do something that you yourself wouldn't do. So if you're going to make a freshman run a lap or two because they were talking and they were ignoring the band director, you better be willing to run those 2 laps with them if they argue with you. And then the number 1 don't for band camp, and I stress this very highly for everybody, do not drink iced water at band camp. What happens is, think about it this way. What happens when you take a cube of ice and you stick it out in the sun? It melts after a while. If you drink iced water at band camp, you're out in 100-degree weather probably 5 or 6 hours a day. So what happens with your body if you drink the iced water is it doesn't react well with your stomach, and you'll end up throwing up and possibly passing out. Don't be that guy that drinks the iced water. Especially if you're a section leader, you have to set the example. Cool water or warm water is better for you because it will help you aid with digestion, but you have to be careful with warm water because obviously the freshmen are going to complain that it's warm. This is what I do as a section leader. I take this as part of my job as a section leader. I will look at everybody in the color guard's water bottles, and this is what I do is if it's like one of those crappy little plastic bottles, like those Crinkle Aquafina bottles that aren't very good that you can buy for like $1 anywhere, and they've somehow managed to cram a couple ice cubes in it. If it's just a couple, don't worry about it. But if it's something like my 2-gallon water jug that you can see right there in the corner, then they have it filled with water and filled with ice all the way across the surface. I will do one of 2 things. I will either tell them to get rid of the ice or pour out their water and have them go get water from our water fountain or water horse because they don't need to be drinking iced water. Or I will take and I'll stick my hand in their water. The hand, which mind you, is usually covered by a glove that I use for color guard, which has been soaked with my sweat for 6 months already, and I'll stick it in there and I'll pull the ice out myself. And I'll be like, here you go, you can drink this now. And they'll be looking at me like, why did you do that? And I'll be like, if you don't want me to do that, don't drink iced water, or don't bring iced water into my guard. Simple as that. So, there you go, my top 5 do's and my top 5 don'ts for band camp. Listen to these lists, use these tips wisely, and you will have a successful year on the field as long as you listen to your band director. Catch you guys later.